Hey, how's it going? These are my picks for UFC Fight Night Holm versus Vieira. Okay, that's better. Okay, when it comes to the first fight on May 21st, that is between Elise Reed versus Sam Hughes. Now, when it comes to that fight, I feel like Sam Hughes is going to eat more punches than Elise Reed is going to, and I feel like Elise Reed has a better chance on the ground as far as ground game grappling goes. Although I do have to give some points to Sam Hughes for having a really good choke. She did a guillotine and a couple of rear naked chokes in her career, and they've all been really strong, and I know that it's going to be a pretty good fight, pretty close fight. It's really hard to call, but I'm going to have to put $5 on Elise Reed. Now, when it comes to bout number 2, which is Chase Hooper versus Filipe Colares, I know that they're both evenly matched. They're both very good at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I feel like Filipe maybe has a stronger striking game than Chase Hooper does, but ultimately, what I'm thinking here for this Chase Hooper guy, I think he's going to be a lot like Oliveira, the way Oliveira, had to learn a few lessons in order to get better at it. And I feel like Chase Hooper is going to get better and better and better. And that one day the guy will be a champion if he sticks to it and really does his absolute best. I believe he is born to do that. I hope anyway. I hope. So as far as that goes, just pointing that out there, I'm going to have to bet $5 on Chase Hooper to win, probably by a submission, because that's his go-to game. Fight number 3. When it comes to Jonathan Martinez versus Vince Morales, I really love the Morales fight with Gutierrez because Gutierrez just really leveled on his legs there, completely tore apart Vince Morales' legs. That was a really good fight. But as far as Jonathan Martinez versus Vince Morales goes, I'm going to have to go with my instincts on this one and bet $5 on Jonathan Martinez. And when it comes to bout number 4, Omar Morales versus Uros Medic, both of them are coming off of losses where they were tapped out by somebody else as far as that goes. So they both are looking for something to prove. So I believe it's going to be a really good fight as far as that goes. I feel like Omar Morales has more wins by decision, unanimous decision, split decision, whatever it is. I feel like he has more wins by that, and I feel like Uros has more wins by TKO and knockout, and he's a finisher. I feel like Uros is more of a finisher, so I'm going to have to put my money on the finisher and put $5 on Uros Medic. When it comes to bout number 5, Parker Porter versus Jailton Almeida, I know that a lot of people have been making fun of how big Parker Porter is, and they've been saying that Jailton Almeida has more tools in his arsenal to finish this fight as far as that goes. Everybody's trying to say that Jailton Almeida is going to take Parker Porter to the ground and just have his way with them because Parker Porter's too big to kind of get back up as far as that goes. In fact, Jailton Almeida is at minus 600 right now, while Parker Porter is at plus 450 right now. That's pretty big odds. As far as underdogs go, that it doesn't get much worse than that in regards to odds. But as far as betting goes, I'm a betting man. I'm going to have to play my odds here, and when I say play my odds, I'm going to have to play the highest expected value back, which is plus 450. So I'm going to take a chance. This is my wild card fight right here. I'm going to take a chance on Parker Porter and put $5 on Parker Porter. It comes to bout number 6, which is the main preliminary event between Joseph Holmes and Alen Amedovski. I know that Alen Amedovski has the potential to KO Joseph Holmes. Anything could happen in a fight as far as that goes. I'm going to have to reflect on the Alen Amedovski versus John Phillips fight. Go watch it right after you watch this. It's a fucking amazing fight. And I'm going to have to reflect on the fact that Joseph Holmes has a couple of advantages, like a 6-inch reach advantage going for him as far as that goes. So it's really hard to tell. This is kind of like a coin flip situation as far as that goes. But I'm hoping that Joseph Holmes comes out the victor in this one. So I decided to put $5 on Joseph Holmes. Now we're on the main card. When it comes to bout number 7, which is a fight between Eryk Anders versus Junyong Park, I would like to think that Junyong Park might actually come out on top with his boxing and knock out Eryk Anders. As far as that goes, it's hard to tell, but I'm going to have to play the former Alabama college linebacker here, Eryk Anders. I hope that Eryk Anders wins, so I'm going to have to put $5 on Eryk Anders. When it comes to bout number 8, which is Polyana Viana versus Tabatha Ricci, both are very evenly matched as far as that goes. I believe that both are submission artists on the rise. We got Tabatha Ricci, who has the purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then we have Polyana Viana, who has a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So as far as that goes, I feel like it could be anyone's match. I'm going to have to reflect on one particular match as far as Tabatha Ricci goes, though. When she was against Manon Fiorot, I just feel like Manon Fiorot dominated her because of her size difference, her reach advantage, and all of that. And the same sort of stats kind of apply here because Polyana Viana has that strong reach advantage as far as this fight goes coming up on May 21st. So I'm going to have to put $5 on Polyana Viana. But because I love the baby shark stuff, the only reason I love the baby shark stuff is because I have 3 babies of my own, right? And they fucking watch that around the clock, that baby shark do. And that's fucking Tabatha Ricci's name. So in honor of my daughter who loves that fucking song so damn much, I'm going to put $1 on Tabatha Ricci to win as a side bet as well. Respect to both fighters. Anybody can win. Cheers. When it comes to bout number 9, Chidi Njokuani versus Dusko Todorovic, I'm going to have to reflect on the Dequan Townsend versus Dusko Todorovic fight. That was very impressive by Dusko Todorovic. And I'm going to have to reflect on the Mario Sousa fight versus Chidi Njokuani. That was very impressive by Chidi Njokuani. Both of them in those fights showed us that they can do ground and pound work, showed us that they're very well-rounded fighters. Anything could happen. But I'm going to have to reflect the most on the Marc-Andre Baralt fight that Chidi Njokuani had. Go watch it right now. It's amazing. So reflecting on that fight, I'm going to have to choose Chidi Njokuani. Therefore, I put $5 on Chidi Njokuani to win the fight that night. When it comes to bout number 10, Santiago Ponzinibio versus Michel Pereira, I reflected on a few of their matches. I watched some of their career and I looked over some of it. Like, I was impressed by a few finishes by Santiago Ponzinibio, such as the Andre Stahl fight and the Wendell Oliveira fight and the Neil Magny fight. And then as for Michel Pereira, I was just impressed overall because he was so flashy as far as like mixed martial arts goes. He has the art size really down, you know, like he was doing some ninjutsu, he was flying off the cage and stuff like that, a bunch of backflips during the weigh-ins and things like that, a bunch of cool flashy things like that. And after studying all of that, I had no idea who to choose as far as like who to put my money on, who to bet on, and as far as that goes. So I decided to call a friend. And a friend of mine said that Michel Pereira is going to win by TKO or KO. So I decided to go with that. So I put $5 on Michel Pereira. Now, when it comes to the main event on May 21st, 2022, UFC Fight Night, Holm versus Ketlen Vieira, I'm going to have to reflect on how Miesha Tate won against Holm, but also Holm won against Irene Aldana. And then Ketlen Vieira won against Miesha Tate, while Irene Aldana won against Ketlen Vieira. So it's pretty evenly matched as far as statistic goes and all that. I feel, though, this is just a feeling, like Holm had her time in the spotlight, you know what I mean, as far as that goes. Like, she's one of the greatest of all time in the women's division as far as that goes, you know. And now it's time for Ketlen Vieira to rise up and become one of the next greats, you know. It's time for the next generation to rise, like Holm being in her 40s and, you know, Ketlen Vieira being in her 30s. I feel like Ketlen Vieira is going to pull off the win. So for the main event, the Holm versus Ketlen Vieira fight, I'm going to have to put $5 on Ketlen Vieira. Go Ketlen. And those are my bets for the UFC Fight Night Holm versus Vieira on May 21st, 2022. I hope that things work out. I hope that we end up plus money as far as that goes. And always keep it a game, have fun, and enjoy yourselves. These fights are going to be awesome. I'm going to watch them after work and have a really great time. So thank you for watching, and I hope that you have a great week. Respect.